Picture it. The lights slowly but surely start to dim. Music starts, and then the first model begins to start her glamorous journey down the runway. Alexander McQueen's designs completely changed the world of fashion, which both you and I live in. He opened new doors that would start a fashion revolution. Many people live their lives not exactly knowing who Alexander McQueen is and what he did. I'm going to change that and enlighten you with a little bit of information about McQueen himself. McQueen lived a very full life. The most prominent things in his life were how he got started and interested in fashion, what fashion masterpieces he made, and how they were received by audiences, and his last fashion show after his death. Alexander McQueen was born on March 17, 1969. He was the youngest of 6 children. His father was a taxi driver, and his mother was a social science teacher and amateur genealogist. He introduced himself to fashion. As a child, he was semi-interested, but wasn't really sure what it was, and at age 3, he drew a picture of Cinderella for his sister's wall with a tiny waist and a huge gown. At that point, his father really kind of disowned him then and started to ignore him. His family later moved to Stratford, where Alexander was enrolled at Roepert Comprehensive School for Boys, where he was constantly teased and bullied. He spent his time daydreaming and drawing women's clothes. At age 16, Alexander McQueen dropped out of school to fulfill his lifelong dream of becoming a fashion designer. Shortly after he dropped out, he found an apprenticeship at Style Row working for the tailors Anderson and Hawks. By the time he was 21, McQueen worked for Angels and Vermins, the theatrical design company, for the designers Koji Tasuno and Romeo Guffili, and by then his career was starting. Alexander McQueen quickly showed everyone that he was going to put his personal stamp on his garments. He was known widely for brilliant tailoring. His garments were always their own work of art. He mostly started in British fashion, where he was known for his outlandish styling and very different ways of seeing how clothes were worn and perceived by the human eye. Many celebrities can be seen wearing his clothes on the red carpet and to big events. He also won the achievement for Britain's Designer of the Year in the years of 1969, 1967, 2000, and 2001, as well as the CFDA's International Designer of the Year Award in 2003. On February 2nd, 2010, Alexander McQueen's mother passed away after a long illness. This absolutely devastated McQueen. He was very close to his mother and was very sad and depressed when she passed away. After her death, Alexander McQueen's co-workers noticed he was never the same. In an interview with Vogue magazine, his right-hand woman, Sarah Burton, said, "The last time I saw Alexander McQueen alive was when he came to the studio what she holds in her mind as the Tuesday. McQueen's mother had just passed away, but the fall show was amending. He seemed like a little lost boy," said Burton. "We were worried, but he was always working. As his right-hand assistant for 14 years, she clicked into what she always did. He had so many ideas, and he had to be very quick, and she knew how to finish his sentences. She watched McQueen sculpt gilded feathers to put in a twisting draped dress, and taking shears of crimson satin to fit it over a base gold embroidery. When he left, 2 of the exceptional Gothic outfits that were fated to be the finale of his career were resolved. He didn't come in on Wednesday," she said. "We were waiting for him to come in on Thursday for a fitting. That's when Trino called and said, 'Lee's humped himself. Get in the car now.' We collected Sean and went. February 10th, he died at age 40 from hanging himself. He was just a few weeks before his fall 2010 fashion show. In his honor, his friends and close co-workers decided to finish his last 2010 fashion show in his honor to make it what would be known as his last fashion. I have now discussed with you the top main things in Alexander McQueen's life. His life, his fashion career, and his final fashion show. I now encourage you to go out and see all the awesome things McQueen has brought to the table. He truly was a fashion genius. Alexander McQueen is an excellent designer and one of my personal favorites. Alexander McQueen is a designer who has carved his own career path in the fashion industry. He was a workaholic who kept moving forward despite the sometimes negative media surrounding him. He was a true artist, not just a fashion designer, who did not let the commercial value of his clothing take away from the controversial presentation necessary to draw attention to his